This Lane Kiffin situation is crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I mean, every day it seems like there's something new coming about the situation. We've seen College Game Day talk about it. Nick Saban talk about his former coach at Alabama when he was coaching to championships. It's insane right now. And if you're an Ole Miss fan, you have to feel sick. Like, one of your best seasons in program history, back-to-back or 3 consecutive 10-win seasons. You got a chance potentially to go to the college football playoff and make some noise. And then all you've been hearing in this fabulous season that you're having with Trinidad Chambliss, QB1, with Keywan Lacey, with that defense, all you're seeing is your head coach might be headed this place. This team's offering him this amount of money. This team's offering him this incentive. It's like, dang, bro, you got to feel some kind of way if you're an Ole Miss fan. So part of it, obviously, is Lane Kiffin's fault because he could definitely put this and nail this down, right? He could go ahead and say, nah, I'm not leaving, I'm staying. But what he is doing, he's using his leverage, right? And he's made a quandary for Ole Miss, right? Like, they're in a tough position, you know what I'm saying? Because this program, he's lifted it up. Now, Ole Miss has always been a pretty decent football program, right? But they've never been considered a blue blood, right? Whenever you think about blue bloods, you think of Bama's, right? We think about, obviously, the Michigans of the world, Ohio States, USC's back in the heyday, Miami's back in the heyday. Like, we think of those teams. But he's brought this team up. And I know they're going to give him the money in order to do what he needs to do. But obviously, it's the allure of these other programs, right? LSU is a bigger standard program than Ole Miss is, right? Florida has a bigger brand than Ole Miss does, right? But what Lane Kiffin can do, he can be forever enshrined in Ole Miss history. And by Ole Miss history, I mean bringing championships to the Rebels, right? From a long time ago, you know what I'm saying? Bringing them chips, you know what I'm saying? So that would be big time for them in their program, and they would be back on the map as a team that you think about in the SEC, right? Because remember, there's a laughing stock a little bit before he came. Right, this was a team that wasn't winning consistently. Right? You have to go all the way back to Eli Manning days at Ole Miss, right, before they were even considered a decent program. So he's done a lot for them, you know, and rightfully so. And Lane has cashed in on what he's been able to do and produce. But what LSU is offering, $90 million, right, $13 million per year. It's insane to see this in the middle of the season. That's why I said a lot of this comes on the calendar. NCAA needs to do a better job of the calendar, right? These shouldn't even be into question until after the season is over, right? These talks should be like the NFL in February, right? That's the perfect time. Because think about it, y'all. There's no football going on. After the Super Bowl, what football is there, right? We're transitioning to the next sport. We're more on NBA, spring training, the MLB's coming back. You know what I'm saying? We're more on that wavelength, and obviously basketball season. So that would be the perfect time, right after the Super Bowl, right, to open up that window, you know, make that obviously the signing day, make the transfer portal a few weeks after that, right? And then obviously you have your off season all the way up into spring. You might push spring back a little bit to April, you know what I'm saying, April, May, and then obviously fall camp and training, obviously in late, I say like early August, mid-August. Seems like it would work to me. That's just my thoughts on it, obviously, but tough situation, man. We'll see what Lane Kiffin does, man. He could be blowing up smoke amongst everybody and eventually just stay at Ole Miss, where we'll obviously show shockwaves through college football and leave LSU and Florida hanging. But if I'm Lane Kiffin and it's my decision, I'm staying with the team that showed me loyalty. I'm staying with the team that had my back when seasons that didn't go necessarily how we wanted it to go. That's what I'm sticking with because I know at the end of the day, they're going to have my back. Yes, they're going to give me a lot more money. Yes, it's going to be an incentive to win football games, but I know this team got my back, right? Because remember, LSU, they can turn on you quick. That fan base, they started off 4-0 this year. They turned quick and got Brian Kelly the hell up out of there. At least with Ole Miss, you have a little bit of leeway with what you've been doing. And then you give them their first ever college football playoff berth. Potentially, all you got to do is win against Mississippi State. Bro, you're going to be forever enshrined in Ole Miss history. You'll be a legend. For me, it feels like that beats LSU and that beats Florida. No disrespect to those programs, but if I'm Lane Kiffin and I'm in that situation, I'm duking it out. I'm staying with the team that supported me, was loyal to me, and helped me obviously continue to shine in college football and be one of the best coaches in the sport. I'm sticking with Ole Miss. That's just me, though.